Are you aware that 70% of pastors constantly fight depression and burnout for the frustration experience as a result of ministry workload, discouragement, and pressure? We help leaders grow healthy churches. We are excellent at what we do, and we are fast becoming the best of the very best. MagnaCraft Consulting is set up to help both small and large-sized churches become healthier by using proven diagnostics tools, effective retention strategies. We give the right and appropriate and professional advice. We are the certified church consultants with the Society of Church Consulting in the United States of America. Trust us to help you grow. Don't wait till it's too late. You will be glad you did. Call us now on 0802-324-2258. Email contact@magnacraftconsulting.com or magnacraftconsulting@gmail.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram @MagnaCraft Limited. MagnaCraft Consulting, doing church God's way. Are you aware that 70% of pastors constantly fight depression and burnout for the frustration experience as a result of ministry workload, discouragement?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope I'm having a good audio. Hello, this is Monday Morning Matters. Monday Morning Matters. All right, this is Monday Morning Matters. Welcome to the first Monday Morning Matters of March. I'm still trying to get over the pressure of February. But this is a new month. Happy new month and a beautiful morning to you all the way from the city of Abuja. We started a series on lessons from churches that were mentioned in the Bible. Churches, go back. We've done part 1 to 8 and this is part 9. So we are welcoming you to our Facebook Live and our YouTube channel, to this live broadcast show. This live is unedited, and it's deliberately for you to just get it unedited. And we've been on these news for the past 2 months, lessons from churches that were mentioned in the scriptures. We're so glad you're part of this live broadcast show. Let me know that sound is good. I'm Niyi Dunmade. I'm founder and the CEO of MagnaCraft Consulting. Niyi Dunmade is my name. I'm the founder and the CEO of MagnaCraft Consulting. We are glad that you're part of this live broadcast show, and of course, I will give you some content today. Let me tell you a little bit about MagnaCraft Consulting. MagnaCraft Consulting is a church consulting firm that helps local churches to grow healthier through empirical revitalization, training, and strategic blueprints. Our vision is to be the leading health consultancy that creates actionable, sustainable, adaptable solutions for local churches. I'm also a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the US. Okay, I'm also a certified church consultant with Church Answer University or Church Consultation University. There are very few that has double certification, but then we host to weekly program Monday Morning Matters every 7 a.m. Nigerian time, West African time. I'm also a church health guide of the 21st century. A big thank you to everyone who has been liking our posts, engaging us. Yesterday, people were trying to reach me. Thank you so much for commenting, for reacting, for telling us how timely our content is. I'm so grateful. Now, the reason why I went on this is that you are a church leader, you are a church founder, you are leading a church, you are pastoring a church, you are shepherding a church. I needed to get that there are lessons that you can learn from churches that were mentioned in the Bible. There are major lessons. Most of the things that were written in the scriptures are for our learning, are for our examples. And so when we go into the pages of the scriptures, we can see how the Holy Spirit, the head of the church, can help bring the life of God into that church as a whole. And so study more. I cannot go and exhaustive on all the lessons from the churches in the Bible, but this is just to scratch the surface and just glean from the thing that I have personally studied. So they are major lessons from the churches in the Bible. The churches that were mentioned in the Bible were more than 60 churches. And of course, majority of them, Paul wrote letters to them, and Paul was addressing a lot of issues, a lot of problems in contextual settings of these churches. And some of these issues that were addressed are not far away from the issues a typical church pastor is facing today. Now, one of the things I'll say quickly is that pastors are becoming an endangered species. Most people are not going to Bible school, going to seminary. They are not seeing pastoring as a new position anymore. In fact, I can tell you from research that we have more people work and less people going to full-time work. And so we need to be able to see how were these things done from the pages of the scriptures, from the pages of the Bible. How were these things done from local churches that were mentioned in the Bible? And so this is what this series is all about. If you have missed out from part 1 to 8, I want you to just dig in and then build up from there and then come back here to make sure that you get these lessons from the Bible. And then we're going to make sure that in the next 3 weeks, we're going to wrap it up and then go into something else in the month of April, which is data in your church. How to use big data in your church. All right. So one is your let's do a little more promo and then we'll go into the juice of the you need to pay some bills because some of this live streaming is coming your way because some people are paying the bills for us. Okay. And so please go on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. You're going to get some good content in those platforms. Dr. Tom Rayner, fantastic. I mean, I love that so much. His passion for the church, his passion to our leaders is top notch. And so he reached out to me and said he wants to be able to give discount to you. So you're a pastor in Africa. You didn't really to understand the context at which we live in, because I know I went through all this. It wasn't easy trying to make sure you get dollar to make payment for these trainings. But the thing is, if you get equipped, you're going to help your church to help other churches. So this is just over 40% discount for you to become a certified church consultant. You'll be well trained, you'll be well equipped, and be well empowered to help your own church and help other churches to create some side income for yourself. And so please reach out to me in any of the social media and those platforms that we have, and then you're going to get more details about that. Please get a book on church retention. I mean, that book, even yesterday, a pastor called me and said, no, that book is deep. He got a book as a gift for a pastor. I can tell you, writing for pastors is not easy. I think I will tweet that day. Writing a book for church leaders and pastors is not an easy task. And so, and that's why we don't write them many. And then please make sure you get church retention. You want your church to grow. You want to know the technicalities around growing a church. I mean, church retention is your best bet to go. So get that book on Amazon, and you will thank me later for getting that book. Now my new book is coming back next month, April 9th exactly. Please, the pre-order is started. I'm going to just do a 1 month pre-ordering, Busting Church Growth Myth. What church leaders and experts keep getting it wrong. Why church leaders and experts keep getting it wrong. Please make sure you get that book. I mean, it's well loaded. I wrote the book and all of a sudden I wasn't happy with the content and I had to start afresh again. And of course, that book is loaded. That book is loaded. I can tell you for free. Now, please, so make sure that you get that book, pre-order. The links will be shared on also. Because the thing is that once the book is launched, I can tell you that the price is going to go up. So please make sure you get that book you pre-order that book as soon as possible. People are already asking for how to get that book. So what are the lessons from churches that were mentioned in the Bible? One of the things is teaching and discipleship. Now, one of the things that I want us to see is what are the methods used by these early apostles, early church leaders in teaching their people. Because the thing is that the Great Commission is resting on going and teaching. In Matthew chapter 28, verse 18 to 20, go into the world to make disciples of all nations and teaching them to observe. They cannot observe if there is no teaching. And so discipleship, the healthy state of discipleship, rests on teaching. All right, it rests on teaching to observe all that is written therein. And so we need to find out what are the methods that Apostle Paul used, Apostle Peter used, in mentioned in the scriptures, in teaching, in discipling believers. So the Paul's letters, we can go into Paul's letters from the pages of from the letters of Paul. We can see how he was taking care of his sheep, his members, his congregation, even from the prison. All right, even Timothy's mentorship of Paul. Okay, these are methods at which Paul, Peter, and all the church leaders mentioned in the Bible were actually teaching and discipling believers in the early church. Be encouraged to focus on biblical literacy. One, systemic teaching and intentional discipleship programs. So 3 methods your church must be so rich in them. I'm going to repeat myself. Your church must be focused on biblical literacy. I mean, what platforms do you have for people to read the Bible on a daily basis? I think I have something on my YouTube page on the link between the health of a church and how much your congregation is reading the Bible on a daily basis and on a consistent basis. So the system, the methods to be employed is ensuring that there is what? Massive biblical literacy. Imagine where there was persecution in the early church and someone like Stephen began to preach. He didn't prepare for that sermon. He talked from his overflow. He talked from what he has been, from biblical literacy, from what he has studied in the past. And the Bible says that as he was preaching, as he was teaching, every heart were pricked. Even when they were stoning him to death, his soul was received to heaven. So one is biblical literacy. Two is systemic teaching. Teaching has to be line upon line upon line. Say sentences or write essay or write long composition of English language without learning ABC, without learning two-letter word, without learning your vowels, your consonant. Teaching has to be systematic. Even in the academic world, teaching is systematic. So how do you start from the basics, from the fundamentals, the ABCs, the two-letter words, the vowels, the consonants, before you start making phrases, clauses, adjectival phrases, and all those things? Teachings in our churches have to be systemic. One of the things I would disabuse from us is that you cannot make disciples from just 4 classes. Jesus Christ never did that. I don't think you can achieve it. You cannot make a disciple by just 1 class or putting them in the classroom. You must have a systemic teaching syllabus or a systemic teaching and syllabus for 4 to 5 years in your church. When somebody is a member of your church, there should be a syllabus from that moment to 4 years in time, so that the person's biblical literacy is rich. So that's the second one, biblical literacy. The second one is systemic teaching in your churches. And then the third one is intentional discipleship. And you can see that from Jesus. Sometimes you take them to the garden. Sometimes you take them to the seaside. Sometimes you take them into a woman's house. Jesus Christ was intentional in the discipleship program that he deployed when he was leading the church when he was on earth. So those things are very, very important. And biblical literacy, how do you make sure that people understand the scriptures and are vast in scriptures? Because if they are not vast in scriptures, the wolves of this world are going to feed on the sheep that you have in your church. Okay, the second one is systemic teaching, and the third one is intentional discipleship. One of the things I'll say quickly that is killing our churches is 2 things: evangelism and discipleship. Okay, because the persecution is going to get harder, it's going to get tougher, but if there's solid discipleship in our churches, I can tell you that the church is going to be strong. So discipling. One of the things is expository teaching. Okay, through Paul's letters. Paul, an early church leader, wrote epistles, wrote letters to various churches and individuals. Some of those letters were written to individuals. And these letters provided doctrinal teachings, basis, addressed specific issues, as I said, and offered practical guidance for Christian leading, which can be used to lead your church. Okay, if you look at Romans, Corinthians, you look at Ephesians, examples of Paul's epistles or letters that contain comprehensive theological teachings about certain things, certain doctrines that are helpful for today's church. Now, the second one has to do with mentorship and apprenticeship, down to Timothy and Paul. Paul mentored Timothy. Paul mentored Timothy, and to see that in the scriptures by investing time, energy, and personal guidance in the development of Timothy as to become a leader. And one of the things I would say is that discipleship has to be relational. The relational approach involves practical. That's the difference with discipleship. Okay, the relational approach involves practical, hands-on learning and impacting spiritual wisdom. I mean, one of the things I'll say quickly, and I've said that before, the reason why your discipleship in your church is weak is because you are not willing to be vulnerable, or you are not willing for people to for you to have an hands-on training on your proteges. Let them see the weaknesses. Let them see you reading your Bible. Let them see you cry. Let them see you fast. Let them see you face life challenges. Paul that to Timothy, especially first and second Timothy, it includes personal advice, encouragement, and specific instructions for pastoral leadership, which most pastors today at least can go into those advice and get wisdom from them. Systematic teachings and preaching, those are apostolic teachings. Okay, the early church leaders engaged in systemic teaching and preaching. Okay, they presented foundational doctrines and principles, and they begin to build on them until the disciples were matured. This method involves a structured and an organized delivery of key theological concepts to build a strong foundation of faith. To build foundation of faith is not just preaching anyhow. It is building on and structured and organized delivery of key theological concepts and principles. So this you can see that from the sermon in Acts of Apostles, the early church was starting. They started. Peter and Paul's speeches and preaching were often presented with systemic teachings on life, on death, on resurrection, on giving, and many things like that. Okay, and so we need to make sure that we deploy systemic teaching in our. One way to is that make sure anybody that is in the church service has a Bible. You know, these days when you just keep scrolling scriptures on the screen, most people forget to come with their Bible. So let's keep promoting ways that will enhance biblical literacy, and that has to do with scriptural centric thinking, so that people come to church with their Bible, people engage with their Bibles on a weekly basis, and then we need to also encourage our members to center the reading of the teachings of the scriptures and promoting biblical literacy among brethren in your church. I mean, that can be done by verse study, and or systemic book study. You can start with Genesis and then study the systemic teaching on a book of the Bible, and to ensure there's a comprehensive understanding of the biblical context, culture, and setting of that time. Okay, structured discipleship program. Times discipleship programs can be formal, but major lessons are learned when there is informal discipleship. Let's ensure that discipleship is intentional in our churches. And with some churches, I need help on how to structure this course for 4 or 5 years. Reach out to us. Let's see how we can help you with content. Okay, mentorship initiative, encouragement people to mentor people in the church. Mentorship relationship within the church, fostering spiritual growth through personal connection, healthy, sticky connection, things like that. Now, interactive teaching methods. Okay, you can create groups of 12. Or group discussion, group Bible study, include interactive elements in your teaching, so that in group discussions to facilitate active engagement. And so that can be guided to say, okay, we're going to talk on this verse, and every small group can begin to discuss. You can have Bible study online, online continuously in your church, to make sure that people are actually rooted and grounded in scriptures. People are actually rooted and grounded in scriptures. See, one of the things is that when they are not grounded and rooted in scriptures, they are going to find it very difficult to face the issue of life. If you want me to think that can help Christians today, is to make sure that they are rooted in the scriptures, and then they can face the challenges of life. The challenge of life is going to get worse. We're at the end time, and so for your church members to be able to face life squarely, they need to be able to be rooted and in scripture, be rooted in the scriptures. And so group discussions are very, very, very important for your church. Deploying those group discussions can help your church to encourage them to have practical applications on biblical principles through group discussions and real life scenarios. One of the things I can say quickly, that the scripture comes alive when you can see where you can apply them into your life, real life scenarios, or day-to-day life as it is. Now, I'm going to just wrap up with 2 more. All right, 3 more. Consistent preaching on foundational doctrine. Okay, make sure that you plan a sermon series focusing on foundational doctrine to deepen your congregation understanding of the essentials of Christian truth. And then leaders leading by example. Okay, leaders leading by example. You can see that from the pages of the scriptures. Biblical commitment. Church leaders need to prioritize their own biblical literacy. You can't promote biblical literacy if you are not also concerned about your biblical literacy. So set an example for some continual growth, emphasizing the importance for continually to deepen your understanding of the scriptures. Right? Incorporate technology for your wider reach into some of the things you are doing. Online resources are there. You can deploy digital discipleship. A broadcast on digital discipleship, and that was done many years ago. People are spending more time on their platform, on online platforms. You can actually get to develop digital discipleship programs to engage a wider audience and incorporate online forum for biblical literacy discussion and interactive forum. All right, I need to wrap up from here. Please, these points are exhaustive. You can study them. Churches can gain more nuance from understanding these principles I've shared from the pages of the scriptures, and that will help you and also help the church greatly. I need to draw the curtain here. If you have any church related questions for me, Please let's have them of the social media handles. If you have any church related questions, let's have them. Let's see how we can give you more than an answer. Let's see how we can help you, help your church. And I'm here to see how we can help more churches become healthier. All right, please. If this video has been helpful to you, share us your leaders. I also want to learn from. Let me know where you're listening to me from. Let me know where you're learning from. I also want to learn from you. Drop me a comment in the comment section what you feel about some of the things we are sharing. Please like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we come up online with a valuable content for you. So we do consultation, we do trainings, we do revitalizations, we do strategizing. Reach out to us. Let's see how we can help your church with excellent church consulting for health, vitality, and results. I mean, you will just be so grateful you contacted with the number on the screen. Thank you so much for your time, for your attention. May God bless you and have a great week. Till I come your way next week, Monday, with part 10 of 12. I think we just have 3 more, and then we'll go into something else for the month of April. Till I come your way next Monday, I say bye-bye. I love you, and God bless you. Thank you so much.